Everyone's trying to put a very good brave diplomatic face on this because let's look at the fact of the matter. The Syria conflict has defied not just any easy solution, but resolutions on the Security Council. Russia and China, as we all know, over the past 30 months of this conflict have vetoed essentially three efforts to pass resolutions that would effectively have stepped up pressure on Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. So in that sense, this is the first time that the UN Security Council actually has a resolution that would seem to just be on the verge of being voted for. And it is a resolution that would put the full authority of the United Nations behind that deal to require Bashar al-Assad to hand over his chemical weapons, to rid his country of those weapons and destroy them, to make it legally binding to do so, in theory at least, to apply consequences, to have penalties in the event of noncompliance. Now, the fact of the matter, though, is when you look at the details of this, it's no longer a political matter whether or not Assad is in compliance, because the resolution basically cedes control of that determination to essentially what is the Chemical Weapons Watchdog, the Organization for the Prevention of Chemical Weapons. They are the ones who, their inspectors, will ultimately have to determine if there is noncompliance, and if they do so, they will then have to go back to the Security Council, and then there will be further deliberation and a further vote. So in other words, the only way that penalties under this resolution as it stands could ever be triggered, could ever be enacted, would be to have a second vote. There's no automatic threat of force or use of force under the resolution that's going to be voted today. You'd have to have a second vote brought back before the Security Council, and then that's where some people might say Russia has won a diplomatic victory, because ultimately, as we know, 5 permanent members voting on that Security Council, and ultimately Russia does have a veto. So if Russia doesn't think that there has been noncompliance, they don't have to vote for any punitive measures, any penalties.